Yo, what's up guys? Jack from Modern Mining here. I've been doing a lot of research into if I want to build a crypto mining shed and get all my GPUs out of the garage. Basically, it comes down to I'm worried that if I buy any more GPUs that I will not be able to handle the heat in the summer. It's okay right now and it'll probably be okay through June, but in the August, September range, it's gonna get very hot in there, especially if I get more GPUs. And I wanna have the option to, if I get a home Asic or some more GPUs, to be able to do that and not worry about heat. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you guys through my plans. I want you guys to comment on anything that you guys see issues with. If you guys have built sheds before, let me know how it turned out for you guys. I'm not totally sure if I'm gonna do it yet. I need to come up with the money first is one of the big issues. And also I just need to figure out if it's something I actually wanna pursue or not, since I'm not gonna be in this house for more than hopefully another 3 or 4 years. Something else I forgot to mention is that when my mining rigs are in the garage, the heat basically when the garage is closed is kind of radiating into the rest of my house, causing an increase in my AC bill. Especially with my bedroom being above, I have to have a window unit to keep that room cool at night. So if I was gonna build a shed, this is what I have in mind. An 8x8 structure, it would be basically right here with the front door right here and a 5,000 CFM exhaust fan on that wall with my intakes on this wall. And I would put my mining rigs lined up not super close to intake for wetness and water reasons, but horizontally across here, and then maybe a shelf with the other one horizontally across the top, and I could add another horizontal one or another horizontal one, or even move some into the middle. And that way the air would be pulled through the cards and out through the exhaust fan. So first question, I'm thinking of a 5,000 CFM exhaust fan off Amazon. It's like a wall mounted with the shutters on it. I forget exactly what that's called. It's only $400, so relatively decent price, and the wattage is not crazy on it. And if I do an 8x8 shed, the volume would be about 512 would be about 512 cubic feet. So I'd basically be taking all the air out 10 times every minute, which I think is enough, and it may even be overkill, but let me know what you guys think about that. So let's talk about the electrical. So if that's where the shed's gonna go, right over there, then this is where the panel box is. And my second big issue here is that I've got concrete in between my house and where I could trench some conduit and bring my internet and Romex into the shed. So I brainstormed a lot about how I would actually get these cables across here, because I can't go up and over, and I don't really want to tunnel under this concrete, and my driveway is already a piece of crap. So I'm thinking that I would just kind of chisel a trench out of this already broken concrete and lay like a 1-inch conduit. I think I'm going to do flexible conduit through there, and then drill through the bricks somewhere in this general area and run 2 10-2 Romex cables, so I can have 2 30-amp outlets out there. And in addition to that, just one standard 15 volt 120 volt cable Romex out there to power the lights and the fan. So that would be 3 cables of Romex, and then I'd also run an Ethernet through there. So I think I need to do 1-inch conduit to get all 4 cables in there. But it's gonna be annoying to have to drill through these bricks, and then I would think I would just add some breakers to this panel and then bring the wires down and just tunnel through this wall basically. It's not ideal, and that's kind of why I want to use flex conduit, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna get like from here down to this trench with rigid conduit. Maybe you guys have an answer to that as well. As far as the shed itself, I'm leaning towards just building one myself, just an 8x8 lean-to. I've done some budgeting and I think I can get it, including all the electrical and the exhaust fan, for under 2K, which seems like a way better deal than any I can find online pre-built sheds, 8x8s. It's hard to find any for 2K. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know for sure. There's definitely like Alibaba or Amazon like shed kits. You can get an 8x8 for like 200 or 300 bucks, but they seem not very stable. And the last thing I would want to do is put $10,000, $20,000 of mining equipment in a $300 shed and have the roof blow off in the middle of a storm or something horrible like that. So I'm leaning towards building it, but definitely let me know what you all think if you know any good shed deals. So that's the plan. If I can get some funds and it makes sense, I think I need to build this within the next 2 months to actually benefit from it during summertime. And then in the winter, I would move everything back into the house just to get that free heat. But I may even keep like a rig or two out here if I have a lot more rigs at that point. One other thing that I was thinking about is, I don't remember who the YouTuber was, but they had a shed and their fan was so strong that it was pulling water through the door. So I almost think I need some sort of waterproof door for this thing because it's gonna be a lot of CFM. So maybe you guys can comment on that. Is there any way, I was gonna just build a wooden door, but I know there would be kind of gaps around it, and that's somewhat concerning. So maybe you guys know what kind of door you would recommend to withstand the CFM so I'm not gonna get water sucked into those door cracks. One other option I debated on is to save money, go with a 4x8 shed instead, so 8 long and 4 deep. The issue there is that if I was going to be pulling the air across the 8-foot span, that my GPU rigs are already like 3 3/4 feet long. So if I was going to fit them into that 4-foot depth side by side, they would basically already be taking up the full 4 feet, and I'm not sure if that's deep enough. So I would save money that way, but really not a ton of money since a lot of the money is going into the electric and stuff anyway, which will be the same between the 8-foot or the 4-foot option. So that's another thing I'm thinking of, maybe just a smaller shed, but I'm leaning towards going for the 8-foot if I'm gonna go ahead and build it anyway. And the final question is, if I am gonna build this shed, how do you guys want the videos to go? Do you want full kind of build time-lapse videos, sort of how I did like the garage fan and all that other stuff? Or would you just kind of like to see a short clip throughout? I'm leaning more towards doing the full build, but I know that a lot of people on this channel are here for the crypto analysis, and there's also another segment that are for the building and the DIY stuff. So who knows, but I'd like to see what you guys think about kind of if you want time lapses or how you'd want to see that project if I did go forward with it. All right guys, real quick, it's been a couple days since I filmed those first clips and I've done a little bit more research. I've got a little bit of a parts list planned out and I wanted to quickly go over that with you guys. See if there's anything in there that needs to be changed. This isn't totally ironed out yet, but it gives me a good reference of what the price may end up being. So jumping in here, I've kind of got it separated out between electrical, filtration, and shed materials. So I mentioned that I was going to do conduit in that video, but I think I'm actually going to end up going with direct bury. I think it's called UFB Romex cable. You just have to put it 24 inches under the dirt. So I may still do conduit across that concrete part, but then get it into the ground with the direct bury and not have to worry about concrete. If I get 100 feet of Romex, it should easily be 2 strands, and that should get to that. I think it's only like 30 feet or less away from the shed to the panel box, so that's pretty nice. I'll need to get, I guess you need to get 2 of these, but then I'll just have like a LED bulb, light bulb in the top, one of those nice fold out garage ones so it's super bright. And then the only other thing that'll be on the 120 volt will be the fan. And I don't have the 120 volt Romex in here because I already have a big strand of it down in the garage. As far as the filtration, the 5,000 CFM shutter fan, I put $420 on there for that. I need to do a little more research on this. It seems like 5,000 would be enough or maybe even too much, but now I'm kind of worried about how loud that fan is going to be backing up to the neighbor's house because it may be running 24 hours a day. So that's a little concerning. Not sure how I'm going to get around that. If I need 5,000 CFM, I think I just have to do it. And I think if I did 2 smaller 2,500 fans, I believe the noise would just kind of add up and it would be about the same. For the screens on the intakes, I was thinking about doing that mesh filter that's in my garage door, but I need to figure out if that's going to be too restrictive, and I'd have to have some sort of mounts for it so I could just easily pull it out and in and clean it out. But that's going to be way cheaper than getting like 4 or 5 metal furnace filters, because those are like $50 a pop. One thing that's not in here is the little white intake grills for the outside. I'll need probably 4 of those, but those are only $16. So let me just add those in. Okay, I quickly added those intake grills in, 4 of them for $16, so that adds another 64 bucks, so we're sitting around $1,800 total. The shed materials themselves, definitely still working on what design I want to use, but this is just from some plans that online I found, so it gives me a rough idea of how many boards I'll actually need. And for the actual like piers that the shed sits on, I'm planning on just running 3 4x4s into the ground and getting them level. One thing I'm not sure about is how to actually, once the shed is secured to those piers, how to secure those 4x4s to the actual ground themselves. I saw in Hash Raptor's videos that he actually put like stakes in the ground and a metal wire going over the shed just to hold it all down. I'm wondering if that's okay. Sometimes we do get like 80-mile-per-hour storms here, so it's a little concerning. I don't want the thing tipping over. So that's one other question I had. But other than that, that's about what it's looking like. 1,800. Still up in the air if this is going to happen or not, but I want to get your all's thoughts. I think it would be nice so that I can get more GPUs in the future and continue growing my farm and this channel. Also, check out the Modern Mining flags. They came in, so Red Panda Mining, one of these is coming your way soon. And if you're wondering how to run a 240-volt circuit, check out this video where I installed one in my garage. See you guys next time. Peace.